Victony was not supposed to release an album this year at all. In January, the plan was a short EP now, full body of work in 2027. Instead, on Friday, 15 tracks landed, and by the next morning, STARLIFE was at number 1 on the Apple Music Nigeria albums chart. His explanation for tearing up that plan is one line, given to the fader. Quote, "I don't think I've ever had this much fun making music." End quote. That's what we're breaking down today on Ghana Songs TV. I'm Bright with Rho and Chineye.
I'm Rho, and let's put the facts down before anybody starts arguing. STARLIFE dropped Friday the 21st of August. 15 tracks, running about 35 minutes. Short and deliberate. Nobody is padding this out. It's on his own imprint, Outlawville, licensed globally to Encore Recordings. And the features are a proper spread of where Nigerian music sits right now. Ben's Son on Who This, Blaqbonez and YKB on the title track, BabyboyAV on PINO, Young Jonn on Armed and Dangerous, FOLA on Twin. And remember, this is only his second album. Stubborn was 2024. He's following a breakout debut, which is historically the hardest thing an artist ever has to do.
And how it got made is the part I find genuinely interesting, because it starts with one producer. Victony linked up with Ozedikus, and if that name doesn't ring, understand what's on his record. He built Rema's Dumebi, and he built Oxlade's Kulusa, 2 songs that traveled everywhere. Out of that link-up came Fresh, and then Slick. Made the same night Fresh came out. Same night. He says, quote, "We were 2 for 2. I was in the studio and I told him, congratulations, because that was my first release of the year. That was the start of something," end quote. That's not a rollout plan. That's a man who caught a wave in January and kept riding it until he had an album.
And you hear that in the record because sonically STARLIFE isn't really an Afrobeats album underneath. The Afrobeats is the surface. The DNA is R&B. Kanjus is built on a gently strummed guitar with actual rainfall behind it. Missing Piece sounds like a 2 a.m. voice note set to music. What makes me trust it is that he says the direction wasn't calculated. He only heard how much R&B was in there when he listened back afterwards. The one thing he did on purpose was the sample. On Fine, he samples Orezi's You Got It. Quote, "That side was intentional. Just trying to bridge the gap and bring back some old Afrobeats vibes." End quote. Skipping that would have cost him nothing. He chose not to.
I'll raise the awkward part though, because a day 1 number 1 on Apple Music Nigeria is not the same thing as a hit album. Day 1 placement measures how many people are waiting for you. It doesn't measure how many are still playing it in November. And nobody has verified first week streaming numbers yet. So if you see a figure going around today, ask where it came from. What we can say is the run-up was real. Slick has been dominating the UK Afrobeats chart for weeks, and Soweto, his record with Tempo, is certified gold in the United States. The audience was assembled long before Friday.
That's fair. My take, an album made because the sessions were going well rather than because a calendar said so. Usually ages better than the over-engineered ones. The risk is that a record this smooth slides right past you without leaving a mark.
For me, the tell is whether anything other than Slick breaks out. 1 song carrying an album is a single. 3 songs carrying it is a career move.
So tell us in the comments, which track on STARLIFE actually stopped you? Not which one you're told is the single, which one you rewound.
And if you want the first week numbers the moment they are verified, subscribe so it reaches you. Ghana Songs TV. We'll see you on the next one.